We were just off in a lot of different ways, from finishing off plays to offensively in the second half. We didn't execute very well between, you know, a moving screen or a decision that wasn't made on a drive. And to know that two guys from their team score 50 a game and to give up 62 to them that's inexcusable. That being said, Keenes is, whew, he's a bear. Racy didn't do bad either.
Is it bad execution defensively? How much of it was, you saw some of the shots we made, how much of that is the guy making a play? And
well, certainly some of it is him making a play, and I don't want to diminish what he did. But as a coach and as a guy that has to stand in front of this locker room and maybe get them ready to play Central again in the tournament, I got to think of a better way to do it, because we certainly didn't do it tonight. And but yeah, he got rolling. He was good.
If you could rewind, do this all over again, what would you have done differently?
I would have sent one of my GAs over to the hotel, and I would have abducted Keene. Put a potato sack over his head and lock him in his room until after the game. We'd feed him one all that, but I mean, it's not a real complicated game. Kid at 15 and 25, 9 and 18 from 3 on us. That's a problem.
So it's not crazy when you score 87 points, but offensive execution in certain stretches.
We weren't very good. We just weren't. And again, we had some forces where we could have kicked out. We had some kickouts where we could have finished. We just consistently didn't make the right decision tonight. And no, I agree with you. I didn't think we were very good offensively tonight. Maybe, you know, maybe a touch 3-centric at times. We didn't get enough productivity at our center position, I know that. But I mean, Jason, just the way everything started tonight for him, he looked like a freshman tonight. And he hasn't done that very often. And it's legal, he's allowed, but then you better get something big from somebody else stepping up. And you know, you look at our productivity tonight, and it's pretty much centered on 4 guys.
How do you defend the team when they keep continuing to hit those deep shots? I mean, Jordan and Jerron both said you can play them deeply, but there's only so far you can go, and they're taking 25 footers.
Well, I mean, you want to force tough ones, and I thought we didn't always do a good job of having our hand up before they started their shot. They're such quick triggers that if you're trying to, like a shootout at the OK Corral, if your guns don't get up as quick as the other guys, then you better have yours drawn before he draws his, right? Get it up there, get it up there. And I thought there were more than one occasion where that was not the case for us. But I mean, again, I don't think I've ever sat in a game where somebody scored 41 and I said, well, doubling wasn't an option, but it truthfully wasn't. I mean, it just really wasn't, because of the way that they space the floor and because of what they do. He hit some tough ones, there's no doubt about that. He's a heck of a player. There's a reason he's leading the nation in scoring.
Your team's now 3 and 5, I think, since the end of it. You've alternated
3 and 4.
3 and 4.
Well, I didn't count the game that it happened in.
Alternating wins, losses, win-losses. Is there something you've identified that can help you regain some of that consistency specifically? Is it still defense in different ways, Jason?
Yeah. You know, Jerron's been terrific through this whole stretch. We've had some other guys be pretty good through this whole stretch. I don't know if 7 games is enough sample size to say yet. I mean, again, I don't know.
Ronnie played 1 minute. Was that I just need the offense move, or was there a thought to put him in, try and get some?
There were tough covers for him too. And he's a good defender, but struggled with a couple cuts early on and gave up a couple, and just trying to win the game tonight. I do need him, and I need to play him more, and maybe I got a little tight with him. Maybe I need to show more patience with him when it isn't going smooth for anybody else either. I mean, what would it have hurt? That's one of the many things that I'll go back and look at tonight and maybe kick myself over a little bit.
As good as Keene was, you suppose you had to make up that ground somewhere else. I guess the center spot would have been a great place to do it.
Yeah.
What was it, outscored 15-4, you look at their two bigs.
Yeah, we just got beat up inside pretty good tonight again, and that certainly wasn't the focal point of our defense, like it was against Akron.
That's like gravy for that.
Yeah, exactly, but at the same time, the way that they scored, a couple plays where we could have finished off on the defensive glass, and we just didn't do it. I didn't see us swarming the end possessions tonight.
Giving up 62 points to 2 guards obviously isn't entertaining, but what do you think of those duo against, your duo? It looked like sometimes you go possession, who could try to hit the deeper shot, or be more theatrical.
Did you tell Jordan Dardis that? You mentioned that to Jordan Dardis. You see what he tells you. No, we weren't being theatrical. We're trying to beat him. Theatrical. We don't have, no. No, that makes me mad even thinking about it. That doesn't enter our mindset. That's not how we play. Duran tried to make plays. Duran always tries to make plays.
Anything else? Whenever you guys would seem to go on a run, Keene he'd make like a ridiculous shot a few times. Just from a mental standpoint, how do you think you're
We hung around at like 6 forever, yeah, and then we'd make a play, he'd make a play, we'd make a play, he'd make a play. I'm sorry, what was your question? You want to finish that?
just how do you think your guys mentally, took his punches, because you guys would get close, but then just how backbreaking was some of those shots?
Well, we didn't handle it well enough because we couldn't shut it down and we couldn't pull even. So I don't know. I don't think we're a frail group, so I don't think it was that per se. But just from a sheer numbers standpoint, you don't get stops on one end, you really can't make up ground, period. It's just the way it works.